Hey guys, it's masatonic. I'm Bilingual Harukist. 皆さん、こんにちは。バイリンガルハルキストのmasatonicです。Haruki Murakami, book guide short story 22, The Mirror. Did you know that Murakami's one of rare horror story? Yes, this is it. In this video, I'd like to talk about Murakami's very rare horror short story, The Mirror. So let's get started. As always, this video consists of three parts: first overview, and second story, and third deep reading or a kind of reading tips from me. So, and first overview. This short story, The Mirror, firstly appeared in English market in the Year Review 2006 July. So 2006, kind of very old days, about say 20 years ago. And after that, contained in Blind Willow, 20 years is kind of overthink, but anyway. And after that, contained in the collection of short stories, Blind Willow, Sleeping Woman, 2007, July. In Japan, also, it contained another collection of short story, which is called A Perfect Day for Kangaroos, in 1983, February. So there's a huge time gap between Japan and English one. In Japan, kind of 1983, Haruki Murakami debuted in 1979. So it's very, very fast days of his career. So, and then maybe at that time, especially this collection of short story, A Perfect Day for Kangaroos, he had tried very many variety of web writing. So, and in a way, as I said, it's very unique. Murakami is one of a very rare horror story. So I think it's his this is one of his literary experiment, I guess. And as I said, a horror story, but it's not just a, how to say, one of typical horror story, like kind of ghost story or something like that, but in much more slightly different one. And in Japan, there's some habit of a, how to say, activity in telling each other horror story. We call it hyaku monogatari, which means 100 a horror story. And it's like some kind of activity. Gather some people, I don't know, about 10 people or maybe something like that. And then they make a circle and sitting each other. And one by one, they tell their own horror story in turn. And that kind of horror story in Japan we had sometimes, but personally I never do that because I really scared of such activity. But something like that, maybe in the Mirror, that kind of activity they apparently do. But in the Mirror, only narrator has appeared in the novel, but apparently there are other people gathered and they listen to narrator's story. So basically this work, only narrator speak to audience, the kind of storytelling Murakami did in this work. So in a way, it's very unique. So what kind of story? The narrator is tell his story when he was a university student. At that time, he did a part-time job as a night watchman at a junior high school because he absent from his college. But back in 1960 in Japan, there's a kind of a, how to say, student activity, kind of political activity they did. So basically, college was closed. So, and then this narrator himself didn't particularly interest in such a political activity. So just he simply absent from college and doing tour or kind of journey in Japan, all around Japan by himself. And at some rural area of Japan, particularly in Niigata Prefecture, I guess, and he did a part-time job. I think only doing a part-time job as a night watchman itself is kind of very scary because Japanese rural area is very rural. And in his job, he doing a kind of midnight rounds. He checked everything in the school, some, I don't know, belonging is okay, whether it's okay or not. In the midnight, so scary. And then, but he did, because he was young, and so he didn't afraid of anything basically. So, and he did a kind of midnight runs, but find nothing extraordinary, except he find a mirror beside the shelf for storing shoes. He found some strange mirror, and then at first he thought it's something odd, but he find it, oh, this is just a normal mirror. And in front of the mirror, he started to smoke, and at that time he found something funny he find, because he thought he himself, of course, are in the mirror, and but he thought that he is not himself, because uh, how to say it, appearance is of course same, but something slightly odd 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 thing he found, and then he thought he's not me, and he thinks something, it's like that he is real he, and he, this side, is much more imitating the he in the mirror, so kind of opposite. the the person in the mirror is the real one, and then the person in the real world is not real, but much more imitation. That way he think, and so he started very very scary, and then he simply he broke the mirror and straight back to his room and just tried to sleep. And when the morning come, he checked the mirror, and he found nothing there, because no such a mirror in real world. That kind of story. And so in a way there's no ghost, no scary thing itself, but some strange mirror he find, and he found very strange himself. That kind of story. And that this um, experience made him kind of change him. So uh, from from this experience, he can't use any single mirror himself. So in his room, there's no mirror, something like that, and then story ends. So it's very short story, but um, including many, including interesting episode, the mirror itself. So how should we read this novel? Deep reading. Let's think about the mirror. I think the mirror is a kind of metaphor or something. And let's think about the object he find in the mirror. It's very interesting way to live deeply. And in much more, how to say, widened or expanding the perspective, we should think about the relationship with Murakami's other work, also featured mirror or same episode with this, like a wild ship chase, and basically same. It's quite similar pattern as appeared a wild ship chase. Protagonist find the mirror in Rat's his friend's a kind of mansion, and then when he noticed, when he looked into the mirror, the protagonist felt kind of very similar way to this the mirror's narrator's case. So, and then in a wild ship chase, the mirror is take a very important role to find out some kind of a truth, like. And also another work, After Dark, has also featured mirror, and in this case kind of slightly much more scarier things happen. The female protagonist, Mary, and Mary or Eri, always confused which is the heroine, but anyway, she in front of the mirror at the family restaurant, and then when she leaves, still her objects still remain in the mirror. Such a accident happened. So in Murakami's novel, in some case, mirror take an important role. So maybe they have some kind of a how to say function as a literary function in his novel. So it's kind of very interesting and important thing to understand Murakami's world more deeply. So in this particular case, let's think about mirror, but beware not at night. I highly recommend it. But those you who tried to enjoy much more deeply, let's think about the mirror at midnight. But I'm warning. Anyway, okay, so that's all. Thank you for watching my video. I hope this video make you want to read this interesting story and enjoyed Murakami's world more deeply. And I would appreciate if you subscribe on my channel and give me a good rate. And like this, I posted 2 to 3 videos like this every week. So see you next video. Bye.